Murder mystery, a fresh clue, and a last long-delayed justice seems like a perfect plot for a thriller movie. Who could have thought that a murder committed 40 years ago could now lead to the arrest of the culprit with the help of a podcast? But that's exactly what happened in Australia, where a man has been sentenced to 24 years in jail for murdering his wife 40 years ago. The case was reopened after a podcast unearthed new evidence. Former high school teacher Chris Dawson was found guilty of killing his wife, Lynette Dawson, some 40 years ago while pursuing an affair with his teenage babysitter and former student. However, her body was never found and there were very few leads available until 2018. The 74-year-old was subject to the hit podcast, The Teacher's Pet. 60 million people have listened to the podcast since 2018. It renewed public interest and ultimately a fresh police investigation into the case. This leads us to wonder, what was this podcast all about? The Teacher's Pet was hosted by journalist Hedley Thomas a few months after its first episodes were released, leading to Dawson's arrest in 2018. It drew comparisons to the genre-defining serial podcast in the United States. It played a pivotal role in overturning a man's conviction for murdering his girlfriend. The court found that Dawson killed his wife in 1982. The court also said that the murder had been driven by Dawson's possessive infatuation with his former student, which led him to kill his wife. It rejected the possibility that the wife abandoned her husband and children to vanish without a trace. It also dismissed claims the wife had been seen alive after January 1982, or that she had contacted her husband. The 24-year sentence given to Dawson has no parole period for 18 years.
I recognise that the unavoidable prospect is that Mr. Dawson will probably die in jail. Mr. Dawson, would you please stand? Christopher Michael Dawson, for the murder of Lynette Dawson on or about 8 January 1982, I sentence you to imprisonment for 24 years commencing on 30 August 2022 and expiring on 29 August 2046, with a non-parole period of 18 years expiring on 29 August 2040. The first day upon which you will become eligible for release on parole is therefore 30 August 2040. You may sit down.
Lynette Dawson's family members expressed contentment over the sentence. They thanked the journalist who hosted the podcast and wished that media and police work together in future to solve such cases.
We respect and thank Judge Harrison for his sentence and hope Chris Dawson lives a long life in order to serve that sentence. Today is in recognition of the hard work so many people have done to get the resolution we needed.
Greg also said that the family can now live their life without the case hanging over their heads. The case has gripped the nation. It highlights the rare cases which proves how the fourth pillar of democracy can help ensure justice. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.